Ben Skowronek's a guy that looked more like a tight end than a wide receiver to me during his days at Northwestern in particular, and because of their void and lack of perimeter outside threats, caught 45 passes 2 consecutive years for Northwestern. He transfers to Notre Dame. He's still productive, caught 29 passes for you last year. He moves on to the Los Angeles Rams.
I didn't get that one. So the Rams basically passed on Notre Dame's best receiver, Javon McKinley, for Notre Dame's second best receiver, who hurt his foot at the Senior Bowl and couldn't test. So I didn't quite understand that. I guess maybe he's a bigger receiver, so they're hoping that balances the 148-pound receiver that they drafted in the second round, and Tutu Atwell. You add them two together, and you have your perfect receiver, right? Tutu's athleticism and Ben's size. But I didn't quite get that one because he's not really a special teams guy either. So I was a little puzzled by that. Happy for Ben. I mean, great for Ben, but I was shocked that he was the guy that he got drafted this year at all, period.
And Brian, as you well know, sometimes once we get down to those later picks, it's better for these guys not to get drafted, get the 8 or 10 phone calls, look over the rosters and the opportunities and pick and choose the best camp to go to rather than have to attend a camp as a 7th round selection. So out of the guys that weren't drafted, you mentioned one, your thoughts about guys that have opportunities to possibly make a roster.
I agree with you completely. I mean, once you get past the 5th round, it's almost kind of like, please don't pick me. Please don't pick me. Because now you get to pick where you want to go. And if you look at Nick McLeod signed with the Bills, I think within an hour of the draft being over, that was one of those ones where if you don't get picked, hey, maybe we're not taking a quarterback or whatever the case may be. Cornerback, if you don't get picked, we want you. We love you. We'd like to have you. Brock Wright, the tight end who ran a 4.6 flat at Notre Dame's combine, just was buried behind a deep depth chart, signed with Detroit almost immediately after the draft. He was a guy that I know, talking to sources, was already kind of working on sort of maybe fingers crossed, if I don't get picked after 5, I want to go undrafted because here's the teams that have really shown a lot of interest. Tommy Kramer signed with the Lions. So the Lions signed 3 Notre Dame players because they also signed Javon McKinley. And then Sean Crawford got signed by the Raiders, which I thought is a great story. I have a hard time seeing him make it, just size and all of his injuries, but phenomenal kid. But yeah, I mean, they all signed really quickly, especially Nick McLeod and the 3 guys going to the Lions.